What is going on, everyone? Tis Miyanovich, and I welcome you to the main dojo, the place where we process the raw struggles of men in an unprecedented paradigm. There is something inside of you that wants you to be more than what you are. But there also may be something inside of you that wants you to go down. And for some of us, that means going down for good. So, remove your ego, drop your bullshit, become vulnerable, and step into the dojo, mate. I think what people don't realize is the brain is a glycogen hog. Its health depends upon being fed glycogen all the time. Now, you have the other side of that with like ketones, where some people are good at replacing that glycogen with ketones, and the brain runs great on ketones. Or you have people that are doing both, right? They're like doing a metabolic flexibility where they're doing carbs and ketones, right? But at its base, the brain runs on blood sugar. And what happens when excessive body fat is created is you're creating the need to maintain that body fat. That body fat needs calories to be there. A lot. And if you have a lot of body fat, it needs a lot of calories just to be kept alive. It's like having a baby, and nerves have to be generated by your body to deal with new body fat. You're building nerves. You're building more circulatory system, and you're building the need to maintain and keep that new stuff or the new sized fat cells alive. Mm-hmm. Now that's going to be glycogen that was supposed to go to your brain or needs to go to your brain that gets diverted to the body fat. It's almost, the body fat is like its own organ, right? So is it any wonder why the brain starts to have issues when its energy source is being diverted by 10% or 25% to go and keep this thing that's not really necessary? I mean, some of it's necessary. Body fat's obviously necessary, but not at the level of when you got to like obesity, mm-hmm. right? Or 30% or whatever. So it's not really shocking that when people are overweight, they start to have mental problems or emotional problems or focus problems. You know, that's another thing that I'm at the point where I can't, to do what I used to do, which is do tons of cardio. I would just be doing fucking cardio all the time now. Like my levels, I don't have my tests back yet, but I'm pretty much going to guess they're like fucking in the basement. It is like 10 times harder to lose weight. It's 5 times harder to gain muscle. It's 10 times harder to get focus. Like every single thing is a fucking problem. And I've done everything I can do. I exercise constantly. But to really chip away at body fat now, yeah, I can do it naturally, but it's so fucking hard. And I don't have time for that shit. Mm-hmm. You know, the other thing I don't have time for is I know what gets it off, which is deficit. It doesn't come off unless you have a calorie deficit.
Right.
But here's the problem. I'm a professional with my brain. And when I go into a deficit, I turn into a meathead. I can't think. It's okay that it's okay that I'm a meathead for a bit, but I can't think because my brain's just going, oh, fuck, calories. So I've been stuck in this fucking place. All I've been able to do really is I initially, like in 2016, through the whole thing with the kids and, extra stress and all that stuff, meeting my wife, I went from 194 to 275 in like
that's a lot.
4 years.
In your joints, like your body's like the structure is like, hey man, we're not built.
Yeah. And so everything changed. Right. And then I was like, okay, I got to get this off. So I did bring that back down to about 235. I did lose naturally just from using different dietary approaches and lots of cardio and a little bit of weights. 40 pounds I drew it off. Felt good. But there was still something like okay. I was still like, fuck, I feel better, but I still felt down. And what I ended up doing was I added weights because weights boost your test. So, and heavy lifting boosts your test. So then I was like, okay, this has got to be a test issue. So I started adding weights, less cardio. Cardio will bring your test down, a lot of it regularly. Weights will bring your test up. So I dropped cardio and brought weights up. Now I'm like, I'm stronger than I've ever fucking been in the weight room. I'm stronger than I was when I was in my fucking 20s. I'm stronger than I was when I was a gym rat. I'm strong. I'm a fucking old, strong man now. Like, I pick up weights and like, fuck you, rip. And
old man strength.
It happens. But now I am gaining a lot of muscle and a little bit of fat, and my weight's going up again from muscle. But I'm getting too heavy for a 52-year-old. You know what I mean? So I'm caught in this thing with being natural. Like, I just want everybody to hear that it's.
Do you weigh yourself?
No. I haven't I was regularly weighing myself for years.
Okay. Cause I don't.
Yeah.
I just use a mirror.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't because I'm in a strength phase, like a really heavy strength phase. And, I know my muscle's going up. I know my weight, my fucking body fat's going to go up. So I don't want to get caught. I was just trying to get as strong as I could because I knew what was coming is going to be, I'm going to rip down. Like, I'm going to pull body fat off next. So I wanted to get as much muscle in as I could.
Before I just cut you off. What were you going to say? I just want people to hear
that this shit is complex.
Okay.
And, it's not as easy as calories in, calories out. When you get into this place where your testosterone is low and you're in middle age or above, your body just starts responding differently to everything. And so it's not as easy as, well, I just need to cut 400 calories a day and hold it. Because when you hold a deficit as an older man for past, I can't remember what the exact time was, but it's between 2 and 4 weeks now. If you hold a calorie deficit for 2 to 4 weeks and you're an older man, your test starts fucking plummeting. So to lose weight, you have to hold a deficit for 2 months. And after 2 to 4 weeks, a lot of people will just start to feel like shit. Like, not just from the calorie deficit, but from your test is already low. Now it's really going low. So then your body's like, you better fucking eat like 10 times more than it normally is. And it's like way more of a battle. So this is the thing I've been in like for fucking 5 years, probably. Like, I want to lose fat. I want to have a little more muscle. I want to feel good. I'm using calorie deficits. That's why I just got to the point where I was like, I think the solution here is that I just have to go on test, and a lot of these things will balance out and I'll normalize, and then I'll have better control over body fat, better control over my mind, better control over musculature, better control over healing. And the point is that I've reached the end. All of this loop-de-doo fucking shit I'm doing, this isn't life. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's bullshit. I'm having to do way too much just to either maintain or get a little body fat to come off. Or, has anybody been like, are you going to go on testosterone, Mike? What are you, a fucking meathead now? Has anybody been like unsupportive?
No, but there are like, there are some people that it was funny. Like, some people are just like, yeah, man, you've lost a lot of weight and you're all ripped up now. That's crazy. Like, they're like, that's awesome. Like, you put in the work. And then there's others that are like, what are you on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just automatically like, don't lie to me. You know what I mean? Like, and, I don't know. Like, I have no problem. I'm an open book. Like, I've had bouts in my life where I've dabbled in things. I mean, I took Anavar when I was younger. That was like one of the greatest steroids I ever took in my life. I mean, I look like a damn superhero. I
know. I've seen the pictures.
Yeah. Like, it's, I'm pretty honest about what I'm doing. But I will say this, look, first and foremost, like I just want to talk about what I do in the gym, because I feel like this is important, because I overtrained a lot. You know, I would just like push through, but now I go in, I do 30 minutes every day on the stair stepper, like the one that's like the actual stairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Old
school.
Oh yeah. And it's a beast, right? But I think that's like, it works your legs. Everything starts to look better. But I do 30, and then I do one, exercise, like one muscle group. So I used to do like chest and tris, and I would do like 4. Now I just do chest. So I know I'm going to be out in like 4 exercises, or, you know, four weightlifting sessions, like, you know, sets of, you know, going through doing whatever. And then I do, the ab roller thing and the stealth, right? That's it though. But like now I know I can be out, if I don't like mess around with my phone, I can be out in like an hour and 15 minutes, you know, whereas opposed to the 2 hours that I was wasting, or maybe 2.5 hours. And that helped me mentally, that I didn't have to do as much, you know, and get just the same results.
Yeah. There's nothing like wanting to go to the gym. It's hard to want to go to the gym when you have a program that's like 30 sets, some fucking crazy Arnold thing that you're doing. Like, I've been doing the same thing. You know, I'm sort of burnt out on cardio. I've done so much cardio in my life, but deadlifting and doing strength work, I've never really done that. Like, how strong am I? Not like, let me put a heavy amount of weight on the bench so I can get a giant plumpy chest, which is what we used to do, right? I'm like, no, how fucking strong am I? And I just go in and will do just do deadlift, or I will go in and just do overhead barbell press. That's it. Or I'll just go in and do dumbbell bench, because it's way better for my shoulders than straight bar. So, but I will only do that. Like, the kids are going to be working out. I've got 45 minutes to an hour. I'm only deadlifting. I'm warming up and I'm ripping fucking weights off the ground with good technique. And that's it. Mm. And that makes me want to go to the gym. Right. And so I think that's important, as opposed to like, oh, I got to keep up my fitness. I want to look a certain way. I'm a fat fuck, whatever. And, I'm going to have to be in there for 35 sets, because that's what Arnold said, or whatever the shit, you know, whatever the split is, 30 sets, 40 sets, you're in there for an hour and a half. I couldn't look forward to that anymore, you know? So yeah. I'm here with you on that. It's like, get in and get out. It's good enough.
Yeah. Figure out a way to get you in there. I listen to my podcasts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's, you know, I stopped looking at my phone while I was, working out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so yeah, are you taking days off, or are you just doing every day, or?
Well, yeah. I mean, I take days off if I'm not really feeling it, or I'm really busy. Sometimes I have to, right? Day gets away from me, but I also travel, right? Like, man, I was on the road for almost a month and a half straight, and that really, you know, threw everything off. So now I'm trying to get back into it, but you know, I go slowly now. I just don't, you know, I'm one of those people now. I kind of like sit back and look, and then you got to reframe things and think about, well, okay, like, you know, I'm not working out in the gym like I was, because I'm traveling, and I'm not the type of guy that always goes and finds gyms on the road, you know, like that type of thing. So it was like, okay, you got to watch what you eat a little bit more, you know, don't cheat. And then, you know, drinking is a huge thing. Like, that's just, you know. But I'm not going to give up that. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, how carnivore are you? Well, not that carnivore. Right. Like, I enjoy having cocktails with friends. Like, I'm a social drinker, right? I won't have a beer every day or anything like that. But, you know, if I'm out at an event, sometimes if I have a speaking engagement, there's times when I have to take a couple, like, you know, couple drinks to loosen up and go. And I'm not recommending drinking to anyone, but I'm just being honest, right? And I think, you know, everyone can bullshit their way through things and say like, oh, I'm that disciplined. There's certain things in life where I'm like, nope, not going to give that up. I still need to have outlets and things like that. So
yeah. And you're proof that it works. Like, your approach is working. You can have cocktails and still be ripped, or, you know, whatever it is, jacked for your age, or whatever your version of ripped is. As long as you have moderacy and you know where to put it. And yeah, people burn out on perfectionism and absolutism with workouts and all that shit. Oh, are you taking anything else other than test supplements? Are you doing any peptides?
So the peptides that I'm taking right now is it's, oh my God, they're right over there. Can I grab them? So
yeah, take your time.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So the peptides I'm taking right now are the TB500.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm taking GHK-CU.
Yep.
And basically it's just for recovery, right? And healing and skin and hair and everything like that that's associated with it. So,
are those, I can't tell if are those injectables or are they?
Yeah, they're injectables. I take it with a little insulin needle. It's just like, 1 IU a day of each one. And, I feel good, right? Like I do. I feel good on it. And, I think it's working for me. I feel like my hair has gotten a little healthier. I feel like, because I was shedding. You'd have thought I was a freaking husky. I literally, like every time I go in the shower, I'm just like, where are you going? Like, what is happening?
I'm like, I look at my carpet. I'm like, where's the carpet? Like, it's like coming off its own. And what's weird is that you would think for that much hair coming off that you'd be balding, but I'm not like balding. It's like the same level of thinness that it's been for 20 years, but my hair's all over the place. It's deceiving in that way. You could easily fool yourself and say, I'm not fucking molting or shedding or whatever, but yeah, my hair is fucking all over the place, dude.
Yeah. That's been one of the toughest things on my ego is my hair thinning out. It's funny because like my wife's like, you're tall, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, but I see it in the mirror and I see it when it goes down the drain. So I'm just trying to fight that too. As best I can. It's like the Alamo. Like,
yeah. You're grabbing anything you can grab and shit's falling apart.
Yeah. No. I got a nice compliment the other day. It was really funny. So here's another thing I do. Like I dye my beard and my hair, right? And I'm looking at you, like we're the same. We have the same type of beard, right?
Yep.
And, this bartender the other day, we were in Vegas, I was out having some drinks with some friends and she's, how old are you? I said, I'm 49. She's like, you look great though. Like, she's young. She's obviously in her 20s. She's like, you're not all gray and stuff. I'm like, you too can have this if you dye your beard like I do. But my mustache is holding on like a motherfucker. It's fighting.
It's interesting. It has like, my mustache has like less gray.
Right. What is that? Why does our mustaches fight so hard?
And my fucking hair, like, I don't get grays in my, up here. I don't get grays on my head, like a couple. My chest hair looks exactly the same that it has always looked like. And it's like not falling out. It's not thinning. There's a lot of it. But the face has weird shit. Yeah.
This right here, I look like Santa Claus. This is coming in like Polly Walnuts from The Sopranos or something. Like I'm like, why is the side of my head? Where are you going?
Was it something I said?
Yeah. Like what's happening?
Do you know who Chris Duffin is?
No,
he's a strength athlete, engineer guy, really super high known in the strength world, biomechanics guy. His company has worked with like 90% of all Major League Baseball, 70% of all and the NFL in biomechanics and strength and shit like that. Chris has, he's the only human on planet Earth that has deadlifted and squatted over 1,000 pounds. And he did both of them for 2 reps. Very smart guy, mad scientist type guy, and strong as fuck. So I've actually been working with Chris. Like he has a very small community that follows him, and he's starting a company where they're doing peptides. And I'm involved in Chris's community. And just through that, I've built a relationship with him similar to when I started building a relationship with you or Rob. So Chris recommended SLU PP332. It's known, it's been used a lot. There's a lot of information on it. People call it SLU or Sloop. And it's called exercise in a bottle. So what it does is it tricks your mitochondria into thinking that you're exercising when you're not. So it has a number of effects. Energy, it will increase energy. It will somewhat promote fat burning. Sometimes it really promotes fat burning, and it has cognitive increase effects. Some people on it who are successful with it, like the fat burning you don't have to work out. You can sit on the couch. Now this sounds like awful. This sounds like the worst possible thing ever.
It sounds like meth.
Yeah, right. But it does definitely pump up your mitochondrial ability to the point where you can burn fat without working out. So what people are doing is they take it and they also work out. Right. So
yeah. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. So, and if you want, I think Chris Duffin has probably the best price out there, and you don't want to get it from a shit place. And, right. And Duffin's shit is clean. Right. So anyway, I've been working a little bit with Chris and developing a relationship with him, and, fucking fantastic. So generous. He's so generous. And you would think this guy would have like a giant community. He doesn't. He has like a smaller community of like 1,000 people that follow him there's a platform called School. I don't know if you know about it, but it's a place where it's more for brainy things, and it has a classroom and all kinds of shit. But I follow him on School and we're in contact. Anyway, I did order some Sloop from Chris, 2 bottles, and it's coming here soon. So I'm looking forward to starting that. That was going to be part of my prepping to get on test, is to get on Sloop for a couple cycles and shed some fat and then get on to test. It's one of those things that it's not one of these peptides that's new and nobody knows anything about it. Like a lot of people have been using it, and a lot of people are getting on it. It's pretty safe.
Yeah, I think peptides are, I remember when peptides like first kind of like were they were in, right? Like they just hit them, people started talking about it. And I remember one of my buddies who's super into fitness, jacked, and he was just like, yeah, peptides are like steroids for your steroids.
Right.
Like that's what he said to me.
Right. Right. And yeah. Also, people say that like if you have the peptides are good for people whose levels are already good. Like if you have good GH levels, if you have good test levels already, a lot of the peptides are really helpful to you. Mm-hmm. But if you're an older person and you're not hormonally optimized, the peptides don't really work as well. Like they have to kind of be on top of other things, right?
Right. That makes sense.
That are happening. So, okay, good. That's a good, health and fitness update from Mike. I think it answered all the questions.